So I've been riding for 3 Block Skateboards, which is a company kind of out of the Revive camp. Andy Schrock and Brian Ames have a couple companies. They have Force Wheels and Revive Skateboards and 3 Block, and they might even have something else. But yeah, basically Andy, one of the forefathers of like skateboarding YouTube and stuff like that, really blew it up. And I met him, geez, I don't even know how long ago, a couple years ago, and he was just like such a nice person. And I wasn't in the camp back then where I was just like, oh, I hate skateboard YouTubers, but I definitely wasn't like into it because it wasn't marketed towards me, right? Like it's very like user friendly and blah, blah, blah. And I remember meeting him and being like, man, this guy's like such a nice, genuine human being. And it was from that day forward that I just began to grow a lot of respect for not only like what he's done, but who he is. And like just the way he carries himself, like owning a very successful business like he does. It's really, I don't know, new to see how well he takes care of his own. Because in the skateboarding world, it's not like, you know, there's a ton of money in skateboarding to where they can buy their team riders like all this like really rad stuff. And, you know, they can afford to have these like actual like sports star lifestyles. But, you know, I feel like Andy, for how much he is making, is putting more of a percentage towards the skateboarding family that he has created. And I've always loved that. And yeah, that was just like a really cool thing that a part of me wanted to be a part of. At the time I had a different board sponsor, but my girlfriend Haley was riding for Revive Skateboards. We went on a trip to Ohio. I skated with these guys and I was just like, man, like this seems like it'd be a good move. And I talked to the team manager of my other board sponsor and he was just like, dude, it sounds like a great move. You should go do it. So I did it. I went and rode for 3 Block, and that was like a year and like 4 months ago. So like coming up not too far from a year and a half that I've been riding for 3 Block. And as far as the product goes, man, like some of the best skateboards I've ever had. I love the shapes. It has the big noses. I'm a huge fan of 3 Block. But ironically, this video is going to be spliced with footage of a trip that I am on. It was last week, and I was with Andy Schrock and Brian Ames, the owner of this company. So we'll be kind of bouncing back and forth between me talking about it and footage from that trip. So anyways, here's some footage of that trip before I get into me leaving and blah, blah, blah. We're at this kind of downhill edge thing. Cracks are kind of deep, but it's like slanted enough to keep your speed if you get into it, if it's buttered up enough. Yeah. You all right?
It was almost still sliding. No, it was ledge. Got it. Oh wow. Oh god, I felt that. Oh!
I'm gonna try to do the not barley grind, and I'm gonna grab seatbelt for no reason.
Well, you did it.
That was way easier than I expected. I learned a new trick. We're all so happy about it.
Everyone is.
Everyone's really happy. I learned a new trick. I call it the iCarly.
Wow, okay. Oh, look at him practicing. Oh, he's so scared. He's so scared of this trick. What do you think? You think he got?
I don't know. That's so uncomfortable.
Oh yeah, that's it. Just kick, a little kick. Oh. Are you gonna try it?
Probably not.
Okay.
Let me get a good one.
That was a good one.
Let me get a good one.
Okay.
Okay. So I come over here and I'm waxing this thing. And I look up and Haley's just filming me wax it, probably getting thumbnails out of me doing the labor for her to do her trick.
I'm working on a reel.
Is it a reel where I wax stuff for you? Is it a boyfriend appreciation post?
I mean, I appreciate you doing it. Take that one.
Frick nice.
It's hard.
It is. You're doing it on a shorter ledge. I had like more time to get my foot off. Do it anyways. Do it anyways. So 2 days after, or 3 days after this trip is when I called Andy. I imagine the question that everyone's curious about is why am I leaving 3 Block? And it's this. Andy won't tell me why he wears the red shirts, and Brian Ames, the other owner, does Feebles and Ledges too. And then he stopped riding deck rails, and it's just like I don't even recognize them anymore. I'm just kidding. The 3 Block skate team, there's some skaters on there that I haven't met that I'm like pretty stoked on. Like Josh Oak seems like a really rad dude. And like Cody Witt, we have like a group chat and Cody Witt's always sending these like absolutely like ridiculous tricks. There's a dude on the team, Gage, who I remember from the East Coast, and he was just like destroying things back then. He's actually cousins with someone who worked for the same skate shop as me back in the day. So there's these like connections of like, oh, I like their skating and stuff like that, but I never really skated with any of the 3 Block guys, and I didn't feel super connected to the team. On top of my friend Christian did some of the board graphics. Christian Flores, guy who makes the Unbreakable Shoelaces. But quick plug right there. But it wasn't really like a company that like I looked at and I felt like this company really speaks to me. It was more so like I just wanted to be a part of like that family, and like, you know, it was like cool to like talk to Andy and, you know, the rest of the team. And I felt actually like closer to the Revive guys than I did the 3 Block guys, because 3 Block's kind of scattered throughout the country. And Jason Parks was riding for it, but then he like got off right before I got on, which is the second time that happened. When I rode for Friendship, he also got off right when I got on. So we've never been teammates, which is really funny to me because we've been very close. Other than that, there was a lot of talk of things that we wanted to do with 3 Block, like really rad things that Andy and Brian had came up with. But the pandemic happened, and obviously that put a damper on everything. All the plans got pushed way back. And certainly I have an understanding of that. Like, oh yeah, we can't pull the trigger on some stuff. We had some trips planned. We had some team changes planned. And just a lot of the stuff was moving very, very slowly. And some other things came up, and I'm figuring them out now as far as where I'm going to go. But something came up. I had a conversation with another company, and it just seems like the smartest thing for me to do is go do this. It just seems like a really good opportunity for me. And it's not like, like Andy and Brian really dropped the ball and like I'm leaving. It's more like this is just a lot better fit for me. And it sucks really bad that I'm like leaving that group of people. Like I'm still going to be friends with all those guys. Like when I called Andy, he was just like, yeah, you're obviously like welcome to come skate. And like, they're going to come out to LA, or at least Andy is, and I'm definitely going to take him to all these skate spots that I want him to skate. You know, our relationship is not going to change at all. I'm still going to try to do stuff with them as much as possible, just because they're good people. I know that my audience isn't exactly their audience, but I know that, you know, some of you guys are, and I like exposing skaters who might have negative judgments towards that side of the YouTube to like how rad they really are. Just really good guys. But anyways, I digress. I'll get more in detail in a second. Let's get back to more skating.
You just hit the side of the corner.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. That kid's Sonic the Hedgehog. He's literally running around screaming, I'm Sonic the Hedgehog!
I'll be watching from up here.
You gotta be quiet when he goes, though.
Hey, will you stand right there if you don't mind? I'll talk to you, but if you could stand right there, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, you little slut. Next try. We need you guys on the rock, otherwise we can't do it.
But I want
This kid is just nonstop. He has one of those. Like, this kid's the best.
Dude, I don't know how.
You got it. Yep. Come on, dude. Jim Greco would have already done this. Yeah, you got an next try. It's coming. The motivation's back. Fuck Jim Greco. The kid was just pouring dirt in the runway. He's like, it's going to make it so you have perfect speed.
Well, what? Could I do it? I have no clue.
It almost worked. I want to take this. Oh, I'm like bouncing off one, not the other. You gotta hit them at the exact same time. Got it. You don't like that sound?
That is the worst sound ever. Jesus. Hell yeah. Tired? Hell yeah. Oh, damn. Stall line? So sick.
Oh, that life is sick. See the grinds?
Oh, it grinds. Okay. Oh. Watch out, Dan. Someone's working out.
Getting them gains.
Very cool.
This spot is the worst.
I told him I broke my ankle. I told him I couldn't skate for like 6 years.
We're getting all four down or what?
Definitely not. I don't know how to get into this.
Better get out. Same fucking.
Dude, look how many times it's just the same line over and over
Yeah.
and over again. Oh
So
my god,
many.
it's the best.
Last time was a lot of fun.
Oh, damn, that was sick.
Oh, you did it!
I did it, Haley.
You did it! Oh, first try. I don't know where you're going.
I don't either. Now, as far as things with 3 block, not kind of going the direction that we talked about, it honestly has nothing to do with like Andy or Brian doing anything wrong or doing something that I wasn't stoked on. And it isn't that I was not stoked on 3 block. It just, to me, it's a company that I'm like, okay, like I see potential in this and I think it's like, but it's just not like a good fit for me. Like I want to be a part of a company or a team that like I really feel a part of, something that I really feel like I'm adding to, that like sort of like fits in the puzzle. Whereas with like 3 block, you know, I like look at the team and I just feel sort of like a, I don't know, like a cylinder, like, you know, just like slightly out, you know, I just feel like kind of out of place, as much as like I'm sure I would get along with skating with any of those guys. And as the opportunity seems to be presenting itself, I can go in a different direction that's just going to be a way bigger fit. I got to finalize a couple things, have a few more conversations before like I go announcing like, hey, like I have this other sponsor, because like, who knows, things can happen. We're still, you know, figuring things out. But I didn't want to like, you know, do all that while I'm writing. Like it sort of like feels like cheating in a way. You know, it's just like, oh, you can't go, like it doesn't matter, you know, where your relationship's going. You can't jump on board somewhere else. But yeah, it's definitely some exciting things coming up. That video hopefully will be coming out in the next couple days, like me going to this other company. And as far as like Andy and Brian and Sam and the entire Revives crew and Casey for sending me boards and all of the 3 block guys, all of them, I'm extremely grateful to become friends with them. I'm extremely grateful to be a part of what they have going on. And I know that like 3 Block will do the things that they said they were going to do. That's coming up this year. So if you're a fan of 3 Block, definitely stay tuned because they got some really cool stuff coming. And I don't want to spoil it or anything, but it's going to be sick. Anywho, that's really the gist of the whole situation. I hope you enjoyed this video, I guess.